Hey guys, welcome back. So now now that we uploaded our font files, we're gonna set this up. All right. Now here's something that I think is very interesting about how Breakdance approaches its typography. It's very interesting, and I'll show you how that works. Okay, so here, this is also included in the shared folder for you know for the people who take the course. So setting up fonts looks like this on Breakdance. Okay, this will make sense when I show you the interface. And there we go. All right. So ratio is what that is, and the base font size, base size, is what that is. Okay. So let's give this a whirl. All right, that's 16, and we'll give it a 1.4. All right. Now what happens is everything is based off of that. All right. Let me show you. Okay. Let's add some stuff. Let's add a section. Let's add some headings and duplicate that. And this is an H2, that is an H1, that is an H3, that is an H4. You get the idea. And sure. All right, let's save that. Did I save it? Okay. Oh yeah, I did. All right. Front end, and let's have a look. So this, I'm going to put this on the bottom so we can see. All right. H1. So that's H1. So it does all these calculations, and you end up with font size of 86. Is that set up right? Did I save that? Yeah, maybe I didn't save it. All right, 103. Should be 120. I'm gonna pause that for a second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I knew that it was multiplying over and over, but I missed the part where the base font size is the same as the H6. So this should not be like that. This should actually be B10. Yep. There we go. So that's B10. That's B9 times 1.4. Yep. Yep. All right, cool. So I think now we can see that font size is 86, which is 86. There we go, 86.05. There we go, pretty spot on. Yeah, so sorry about that, I missed the H6. So H6 is the same as base font size, and from that point on, you go up exponentially, and you get that. All right, so that is a great way of approaching it. It is a very digital way of doing it. And this is one thing that I've noticed about Breakdance. It is a very develop in the browser type of builder, as opposed to what I think Oxygen does. Oxygen it has very similar settings, and it has very similar approaches, but these are little things that I see in Breakdance that sort of shows the philosophy behind how it's set up. As opposed to now, the reason why I'm saying it's a very digital way of doing it is because it's a very clever calculation, very clever way of doing it. It is just not what print designers used to do. And it is not what graphic designers are used to. So when you get a design proof from a graphic designer who is not pulling out random numbers to size things, and they actually have a system, then a lot of times it might not fit this new digital paradigm. Okay, because with fonts in the graphic design world, they use points, PT points, and they use points in usually multiples of 8. So you get like I think, yeah, multiples of 8, like 16, 24, 32, that kind of stuff. All right, and that's because that's how they made their fonts and point sizes and stuff. So that's how that works. Well, that's a common size. Now, in digital, we can't do that. Well, we can, but in breakdance it doesn't do that. So we're gonna have to figure something else out. All right. So just letting you know, this is how you calculate things. All right. So you can put in 20, and you get totally different set of numbers like that, right? Or you can put in like 1.2, you get a totally different set of numbers, right? Now this is also based loosely off of that graphic design approach. Not that I've done a lot of print design, because I have not. I'm 99.999% digital. I've only done 2-3 projects for print. So yeah, I'm not very good with print at all. But these sizes, this is like 90, 72, 56, 32, like a little randomish, but like numbers that you normally see when you're using a word processor. It's already been set up in a word processor type of stuff. Can be multiples of 8, can be multiples of 9s, something like that. So we have 90 here. And if we were to find something, and remember we started off with a base font size of 20, okay? Sort of play around with some numbers. So we'll put in 20, and we have like 49, so we'll like try 1.4, which gives us 107, 1.3 gives us 74. Breakdance is not the best with decimal points, I've noticed, but yeah, we can do 2 decimal points because those are really small numbers, so it's got to work. 1.35 gives us 90. There we go. So do we get 72? Anything near 72? We do sort of get an H2 that's 66, an H3 that's 50. I could technically use something like that. Technically, I could, but I'm not going to do that, right? I'm actually going to set it to how we do that here, okay? Because I think it's better that I show, because I've already showed how to do this. I think it's also better or more helpful for you in not only understanding and developing as per the proof is important, and I think it's better that you actually learn some extra CSS and extra approaches, because that one, like I said, very clever digital way of doing it, but there's other things that we need to consider. So we'll do things the way I would build it, and as per the proof. Okay, so the base font size is 20. That's fine. We won't use that. We won't use ratios. We'll just leave that as is for now. Okay, so one thing that I think can be improved in a lot of page builders. Now I know some non-page builders, like some CSS frameworks that people install on these page builders, I personally think they're very messy, and I don't like the front end code that it spits out as much, but I've seen some people use Clamp in some of those frameworks. I also use Clamp, and I have my own system for that. So it is based off of SAS. Now, getting into SAS is a whole other thing. All right, so SAS is compiled as opposed to just written out and loaded directly onto the browser. You need to actually compile it, and it will compile into vanilla CSS. Vanilla meaning there's no extra stuff in it. So same thing with like JavaScript. There's vanilla JavaScript means raw JavaScript code, whereas you can actually load some extra libraries and you can run other JavaScript libraries like jQuery or Svelte, for example, right? Anyways, SAS is an extra type of CSS code, extra type of code that will compile into CSS, and it spits out fully rendered, fully compiled CSS, and you can do lots of calculations in there. I have a few SAS mix-ins that I use. It's called mix-in, which is like a macro, and you run it in SAS, so you can run macros in SAS. So I have a couple mix-ins that I use for that. So those are actually, that is actually how I control the typography, because I go in way more detail than regular builders would allow. Now, technically, these builders, this stuff is pretty good, and I do think it's pretty good. Now, there are other ways of getting around this. Now, I will show you some stuff. Now, what you can do, well, now the things that even with my CSS writing and taking care of as much as I can with just text CSS writing approach, you can still do stuff like this, which is very helpful. Okay, and do stuff like that. Very helpful. So I think that's great. Now you can also, this is where I think the general headings selector, global settings. Nope. Save that. I wanted to edit the panels because preference. Where are the panels? Pop out position. There we go. Yeah, I like that more. Because it gets confusing. You'll see what I mean. See, after that, if you click on this, why is it not doing that? Anyways, so you can technically change all these styles, all the styles, everything, H1 all the way to 6. And you can set them separately, and you can sort of use, not sort of, you can use responsive settings and then change the sizes and all that, which is the old way of doing it. It works fine. I think it works fine. That's fine. But I think it can be better. Okay, so we're not gonna do anything here. All right, I'm not gonna do anything here, but this is where things are. Okay, so you can look at that, and that's where things are. All right, presets. You can use presets. I'm not gonna use a lot of presets, but yeah. Now colors. All right, one thing that I've noticed is you can assign palette colors, and they get saved into the global CSS files, something like that, and it loads custom properties. Now, custom properties are how you can use and make CSS variables. All right, so you can set a custom property, and then you load it, and it becomes a variable. All right, let me show you. So that is a variable. You can see the var right there. That's a variable, and these are all custom properties. Okay, so here, well, not here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, like they have this stuff, and then they have brand primary color, that kind of stuff. That is all from here. you can actually add palette colors and it will show up as new palette color numbers. Now, sometimes this gets haywired and mixed up, all right? So I think it's better and it's safer to just keep, well, have a better idea of what you want to do in the first place, lay it all out, and then apply just the colors that you need in the right places, and hopefully that you won't get any wires crossed. That's how I think it should be done. But anyways, we don't even need to worry too much about white. Who cares about white? White is just like the regular color. It's a default for everything, so leave that there. Black, also same thing. It's just that. Nope, nope, just nope, nope. There we go. Just that. So that's it. You know. Background, I'm gonna leave it white. Like I said, who cares? Like these are all just simple colors. Does that do anything? No, I'm not gonna do. Oh, you know what? I should actually add a gray, dark gray. Okay, and that is this color, because that's not black. That is gray. All right, and that color is 6.5. All right, so let's add dark gray, and that is 6.5. Cool. Text should be this color then, most of the times. Headings should be black. Make sure about that. All right, we'll leave the links as it should be a little brighter, I think, or darker. All right, we'll leave it as black for now. Okay, we'll see if we can change that later. All right, so another thing in headings that we can do here that I think is fine to do here, because all we're worried most about is the sizing, is the headings should be all caps. All right, so here we go. Go to headings, all headings, and we have here, transform, all caps. There we go. Good. The leading, the line height, we could, but I'm not yet. It should be tight, but we'll figure that out later. Okay, so font size, you can actually use custom, so you can actually use clamp in here. We won't yet. I'll set that all up and I'll show you how to set everything up. Okay, so we won't worry about that yet. All we do is just these colors. Buttons. All right, so you can see here I use buttons like that. Okay, very stripped down, just a single underline type of button. If I want it to be a little more fancy, I can make this underline move on hover, which is cool, so we might consider that. But that means that it'll have to use a pseudo element, because animating that underline is done with a pseudo element, which is like a before and after, and not actually the text style CSS. It has to be done in a pseudo element. So here you don't get that, so that's not here. Let's just add some button styles though. All right, and like I said, they will not have the underline because we're going to manage that in CSS. Typography. It's where that. Okay, this is confusing, man. All right, font family, mono, and advanced, transform all caps. All right, and smaller text really doesn't matter because they're not that responsive, so it doesn't matter as much. This is size 20, same as paragraph, so I'll just leave it. Oh, you know what? I'll actually make it 1 rem, because we're going to talk about rem later. All right, 1 rem. Cool. Text color should be black. Yep. And we don't have a background. in transparent. Okay. All right. No corners, nothing, no outline, no effects. Where is the, okay, size? I'm not happy with this. Because, yeah, we're going to have to add padding. We're going to take out padding from this later. It's going to have to be done in CSS. So, yeah. All right. Because the button has padding here, and I don't want that there. Okay, and the underline has to be just really tight, and that is not what I want. So we're gonna have to write some CSS to take that out. All right, save this. I think that covers most of it. Oh, container. All right, so most everything that I design and put together has a container width of 1200. I think it is a pretty good size. It covers all desktops pretty much, and it doesn't scrunch down too much, and it is also 1200 is large enough that even on larger screens it doesn't look too single line column dainty. Yeah, like it's not a lot of difference, but at least I think it's the best you can get without scrunching up too much on laptops. So I use 1200 a lot. So let's just put in 1200. Okay, that's the container. Now vertical padding and horizontal padding, like, all right, I'm gonna turn this back on. All right, so vertical padding, I use 120 a lot. All right, I use 120 a lot, and that is the first first margin or first padding between. We're going to use margins, but first margin between sections. So that will come later. We're not going to do that here yet or at all. We'll leave that. We'll leave the container width as is, and that's about it. Column gap is actually useful. You can see here the column gap. Not that. Well, this. The columns are a little different. All right. This. I think I should set this up to be the same as this guy over here, because you can see here in between the column gap is 45, and they're like on either side. And this is a little different because this is 45 over here. Oh no, that's 60. Yeah, that's half of that. So it's a little different. So I shouldn't be doing that. I should actually just use the same ones, just so it's less confusing for everyone. So I should probably just do that. Yeah, I can change that. I'll change that later. So should be column width should be 2.25 rems, because one rem is 20 pixels. We're gonna start there with 20 rems being 1 pixel. So yeah, we'll maybe revisit that later, but that's about it for now. We can add style sheets. I'm not going to do that at the moment. Add JavaScript. Not going to do that either. And transition duration. I'm not going to. No, I don't care about that. I do care about transitions, but that's not for now. Okay, so all right, let's save that, and we are done. Cool. All right, so most of the global settings have been taken care of, and we will get into the rest of the pages. I will sort of go through the setups for the code later on, but yeah, we'll figure this out. All right, I'll see you in the next lesson then. Bye bye.